For Americans growing up in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the shopping mall was a special place. Holiday seasons, teen hangouts, music stores, arcade, movie theater, and of course, food. You don't go to the shopping mall for the food, but you almost always end up getting something at the food court. When did food courts take shape? And more importantly for this channel, when did Chinese food start showing up in the mall? Hi, my name is Christy, and this is the American Chinese Food Show. Department stores showed up in the United States in the first half of the 1800s, Macy's, Marshall Field's in the early 1900s, but malls as we know it today only blew up after World War II. A booming economy, people driving their new fancy cars, buying new homes, modern shopping malls were born along with the spread of suburbs. Let's fast forward a bit. The first fully enclosed and climate-controlled shopping mall in the United States is the Southdale Center in a suburb of the Twin Cities in Minnesota in 1956. Southdale had 72 stores at its opening. It also included a skating rink, an enormous bird cage, a water fountain, and a post office. What it didn't have was restaurants. It only had 3 food stores, farm and orchard selling fresh fruit and vegetables, frozen food and ice cream, Bringold meat, an Agavist bakery selling Danish kringler, coffee cakes, and chocolate. Let's jump ahead 2 decades. Many claim the first successful shopping mall food court in the United States was the Paramus Park Shopping Mall in New Jersey, which opened in 1974. Escalators rise through the waterfall complex, bringing shoppers to one of the center's innovations, Picnic. This balcony area consists of 20 restaurants and snack shops that have a combined seating capacity for 650 diners. The fare varies from Coney Island's Nathan Famous to a creperie. There are ice cream parlors, a taco stand, and even Oriental foods available. Ooh, Oriental foods. What kind? Well, this is the grand opening ad from one of them. Stop, shop, and snack. The new Jade Fountain of Paramus Park invites you to take a refreshing shopping break, Chinese Polynesian style. So it's a tiki Chinese restaurant. Jade Fountain is not a newcomer though. They first opened in North Arlington, then Clifton, Paramus, and then this fast food surface in Paramus Park. While Baskin-Robbins got delicious from a food critic, Jade Fountain was not a bad plate of chow mein, nothing to write home about, but price is good. The food might not be very impressive, but don't forget, this is 1974. Nixon resigned following the Watergate scandal. ABBA won Eurovision with the song Waterloo. Having access to Asian food is a big deal. It's the first time for many customers. One customer enjoyed several Chinese delicacies from the Jade Fountain and scrunched up his nose at the thought of American food and said, "You can buy that anywhere." Another customer, as she received her chicken yakitori, said, "It's amazing to be able to eat such interesting food when you go shopping." Yes, Paramus Park at its opening had not just one but 2 Oriental foods places. The other one is the Japanese restaurant called Hibachi House. But seeing how even the newspaper got the dish wrong, it's not yakitori, it's yakitori, is not a surprise. Hibachi House closed a year later because it just didn't do well. But something's not right. Did it really take 20 years for food courts to develop inside malls? Rewinding a bit, before James Rouse, the real estate developer and urban planner, created the Picnic in Paramus, he had an attempt at the Plymouth Meeting Mall in Pennsylvania in 1966, which failed because it was deemed too small and insufficiently varied. What was there? There were 2 bake shops, an imported food shop, a Pennsylvania Dutch shop, a soft pretzel stand, a stand-up refreshment booth, and picnic tables for snacking. The foods people could get were pizza, tamales, Napoleons, pierogies, meat tarts, and knockwurst. Clearly, there was an intention to keep the food snack-sized, not competing with the sit-down restaurants. Turns out people get really hungry when they walk and shop all day. But I'm gonna say it failed because there was no Chinese food. It probably took quite a few trial and error to arrive at the right formula. The types of food, the setting, the messaging, the demographics, and probably most importantly, the location. Jay Fountain was nowhere close to being the first Chinese food in shopping malls. In 1966, Frank Fats from Sacramento already had 3 locations in food malls. Order ahead to take out or bring the family for casual dining. Gourmet Lane, Crestview Shopping Center, and Arden Fair Food Circus. The Country Club Plaza Shopping Center opened in 1958 with a novel feature of a 70,000 square foot mart of 350 seating capacity, with a bunch more varied offerings: seafood, barbecue, Mexican, burger, donuts, and Chinese food from Frank Fats. It probably did okay because the 3 owners who owned Frank's, Fisherman's Wharf, La Fiesta, Mexican Food, and Frank Fat formed an entity called World Food Inc. and sold their offering as a package. Their first foray is at the 18-acre shopping complex, Crestview, 5 years after the first. Then a new food court called Food Circus was added to the existing Arden Fair Shopping Center in 1965. What kind of food did Frank Fat serve at the shopping centers? Chow mein, golden fried prawns, barbecue pork, sweet and sour spare ribs, sup gum chow yolk, pork fried rice for $1.50. But within a decade, all of them failed. That didn't stop Frank Fat. He sunk another $50,000 in 1971, around $380,000 today, for a 12 by 12 kiosk on the K Street Mall in Sacramento without even owning the ground. He's the first one of his kind, I think, in the United States. We serve a Chinese sandwich, it's prepared here and cooked there. It was vandalized several times and made no money. Within a few years, Frank said, "It's no good now." Frank Fat was probably not the only Chinese restaurateurs dipping their toes in the fast opportunity from shopping centers as early as the 1950s, but he was definitely among the first in the trail of dead bodies. We will find out in a future episode who eventually cracked the code. That's it for today's episode. If you like our content, subscribe to the channel. See you soon!